What is hidden beneath the polar ice? Can dinosaur remains be found under old ices? Or the secret of the world? Join us to get the answer. Only for you. In your channel. Master Facts. Hello. And welcome to Master Facts channel. Today we came back to you with a different video. Before we go to the video, I need to say that if you are interested in this series of content, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you do not miss future videos. From the day man roamed the earth, it has been thinking of discovering the secrets of the universe, and always in search that the universe would answer his questions. In this video, we're about to answer some of the questions in your minds. You answer. The ice that you see in the video undoubtedly have formed on Earth long before the creation of mankind, and since its inception have continued to rule on a continent called Antarctica. The thickness of these ices, which encircles the whole of Antarctica like a cover, in some places even reaches 4 kilometers. You might think that despite these glaciers the Antarctic has a humid climate, but this is not the case. Their existence has made this continent to be one of the driest parts of the earth in such a way that in some parts of it not a single drop of rain has fallen for more than 2 million years. But the answer is simple, because the temperature of this part of the earth is -20 degrees even in summer. Therefore, the humidity in the air always stays frozen, and this is the main reason why it does not rain and consequently continues to cause drought. In a simple term, Antarctica hosts one of the most ruthless weather conditions on Earth. Given the conditions we have mentioned, only a limited number of living things are able to live in this region, and they are extant only in the coastal and oceanic regions around the Antarctic. But what's notable, that this continent has not always been so cold, dry, and desolate in history. Although it might be hard to believe, but sometimes back in the Antarctic forests there were forests, lakes and hundreds of species of animals that lived in it. Even according to research and discovered fossils, Antarctica was home to several species of dinosaurs. But still, nowadays all their remains are trapped beneath a kilometer ice. We're now reaching the question of, what had caused this continent to freeze and destroy all the livings on it? In order to comprehend this, we need to travel to the distant past. If you had the chance to travel back to Antarctica 56 million years ago, the first thing that certainly would have caught your attention would be the vast forests of the continent. And how do we know this? Clearly from the fossils of palm trees and ferns discovered in southern Antarctica and the shores of the Wilkes Land area, as well as the pollen residues or plant pollen that has been discovered by scientists in several different parts of the continent. The remnants of these plants, the tropics in such a frozen hell, show us that the Antarctic once had a tropical climate, with an average annual temperature of +16 degrees Celsius on the continent and +11 degrees Celsius in winter. But all these conditions depended entirely on the continent's location 56 million years ago. With the geological surveys revealing that Antarctica was once very close to both Australia and South America, indicating that the Antarctic at that time was relatively close to its current location, it has leaned north, and this is all related to a subject called plate tectonic. But what is this plate tectonics? According to this theory, the Earth's crust that in total consists of approximately 7 to 8 main plates and several small plates. These plates are constantly moving and getting closer to or farther apart, and as a result of the collision of these plates some phenomena such as earthquakes, fractures, formation of mountains, formation of long pits, folds and other natural phenomena are obtained, and the rate of movement of these plates is from the minimum of 1 millimeter per year to its maximum, which it varies up to 10 centimeters a year. It is estimated that about 50 million years from now, The face of the Earth will be something close to this image. Just like 56 million years ago, which was completely different from what it looks like today. At this point, we need to talk about another important issue. Whereas 56 million years ago, vegetation existed only in the coastal parts of Antarctica. 1 million years later, due to a phenomenon called the Paleocene-Eocene maximum temperature, not only Antarctica but most parts of the globe were covered with rainforests. This phenomenon, which occurred 55.5 million years ago, caused the average global temperature to be 5 to 8 degrees Celsius warmer than it is today, and this trend continued for 220,000 years, so palm trees, ferns and other trees and tropical plants began to spread, both in Antarctica and around the globe, causing the Antarctic ecosystem to grow rapidly and in different species to host different animals in those years. For example, Antarctic Totalops, first known and discovered in 1984, is the first mammal to land on the continent. Most likely, these mammals somehow migrated from South America to Antarctica and started living in their new home. Another one of these great cloven hoof discovered in the Antarctic, and this organism is called Strapatrium. These mammals, which were about the size of a rhino or a small elephant, are estimated to have lived on Earth up to 5 million years ago. And now we come to the main question of this video. What caused Antarctica to die and become a large and desolate frozen land? Probably the main reason for this again depends on the movement of the continents and the temperature of the planet. While normal life continued in the Antarctic, climate change was on the rise. Although we do not know the exact time of the beginning of these changes, but in general we can say that 50 to 55 million years ago, South America and Antarctica separated from each other, and about 40 million years ago, the Australian continent moved east due to the formation of a waterway and separated from the Antarctic. This passage, which still exists today, is called the Tasmanian Waterway. Around 23 to 36 million years ago, a waterway called the Drake Pass was created, and over time it completely isolated the Antarctic from other continents. A while after this incident, in the Arctic Ocean, a natural phenomenon called the Antarctic Circular Current began to form. This water current around Antarctica, which still exists today, is considered the most powerful water current on Earth, so much so that the volume of this current is 1,000 times stronger than the volume of the Amazon River, blocking the path of hot water. This current has prevented it from reaching the frozen Southern Ocean by blocking the way to the warm northern waters, and according to climatologists, the current, which is about 23 to 41 million years old, has had a major impact on the current state of Antarctica, followed by a significant reduction in carbon dioxide on Earth. The average temperature of the North and South Poles dropped by 15 degrees Celsius, causing both to freeze, which naturally wiped out any tropical life on this frozen continent. If we could remove the ice from the surface of Antarctica, we would certainly have access to the fossils or even their healthy bodies under miles of ice. It is noteworthy that during excavations in the Antarctic, scientists have found fossils from 350 to 400 million years ago, including dinosaur fossils that lived on the continent about 190 million years ago. The continent of Antarctica, which at the time was a part of the Gondwana subcontinent, played the role of a temperate land for dinosaurs. What do you think? Share it with us in the comments. Once again, we hope you've enjoyed watching. Awaiting your next visit. Before I say goodbye, if you found this video interesting, kindly like the video. Also subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you don't miss out on future videos. We wish you health and happiness until the next video. Thanks a lot for staying with us till the end of the video. Goodbye, friends.